do you want the good news or the bad news first? Well, there's not really any bad news. Here's the good news. The good news is that division with a 2-digit divisor isn't a lot different than division with a 1-digit divisor. The steps are pretty much the same. You just have to take a little bit of time to think and use those math facts. Now, here's the tricky trick, or the strategy strat that may be useful to you. So our big problem here is we don't know our 68s. Like, we're not going to memorize those as math facts, but we can use a number that will help us estimate or get close to what we're going to need. So 68 is really close to 70. So the big takeaway here is, before you start to try and divide and multiply, round your divisor up or down to the nearest 10. But use it as a thinking number only. What you put on paper is going to be a different number. You're going to use 68, but you're going to think in terms of 70. Because I know my 7s. Okay, that was a long intro. Let's give this a try. This time I'm going to go with expanded notation. My next example I'll use shortcut for you people who like that. 70. I've got a quotient that can go up to the thousands, but when I look at my dividend and I think, well, 1,000 groups of 70 would be 70,000, I'm not going to have anything in the thousands place. But I could have hundreds of groups of 70. Again, my thinking number. Oh no, I don't know. No, actually I can't, because 100 groups of 70 would be 7,000. 100 groups of 68 would be 6,800. Nope. No dice there. So we're down to working in the tens and the ones place. Well, we know our tens and our ones. We can do this. Again, I'm going to use my thinking number of 70. And 70 times 10, 700, 1,400, 2,100. In fact, I'm thinking to myself, well, I know 7 times 7 is 49. And I kind of see that this number starts that way. So I'm wondering if I should go with times 70, believe it or not. Now here's the tricky part. I'm not going to do 70 times 70 because there's a thinking number there. I'm going to try 68 times 70. And here the 70 is what I think is going to have to go in my quotient. So I have to do this over on the side because it's not good mental math for me. I'll use the little shortcut method, and 4,760. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to get any closer than that. So I'm going to say, all right, 70 groups of 68 equals 4,760. And I can take that out of my dividend. That leaves me with 207. All right, I got that. I gotcha. I'm going to go back to my thinking number again. I'm going to go back to that 70 and say, okay, 70 times 1 is 70. So now I'm counting by 70s. Well, I know 7 times 3 is 21. So 3 would seem to be too big. But my real number is 68. So right now I think I have to try two things. I think I have to try 68 times 2 and 68 times 3. Because I'm not sure which one it's going to be. I have a feeling it's going to be 3, but my thinking number's telling me that's going to be too high. We'll see. 8 times 2 is 16. Carry the 1. 6, 12, 13, 136. That seems pretty low. 8 times 3 is 24. Carry the 2. 6 times 3 is 18. Plus 2 is 20. 204. Yeah. It is going to be 3 groups of 68 for 204. And that leaves me with 3, which obviously there's nothing else to divide there. So I end up with a quotient of 73 remainder 3. And that makes some sense to me. I can multiply to check it. If you want to check, remember you multiply quotient times divisor, and then you add the remainder to that product, and what you should get is your original dividend. This should be 4,967. I'm going to leave that to you. Okay, here's a second example, and we have a divisor of 46. And we want to create groups of 46. Again, I don't know math facts by 46, but I can round 46 to the nearest 10, which is 50. And that may help give me a guide. It'll at least get me close, and then I can use some space, maybe over on the side of my paper. This is how I tend to do it. I tend to do my formal work on the left and sort of my scrap work on the right. I can test out my ideas. So my thinking number is 50. Well, 1,000 groups of 50 is 50,000, no dice. 100 groups of 50 is 5,000, no dice. Well, 10 groups of 50 is 500. So I can do that. 20 groups of 50 is 1,000. 30 groups of 50 is 1,500. So that goes a little bit over. But my original divisor is 46. So I feel like I need to try two things here. I feel like I should try, well, it seems like it would be 2, but it might be 3 as well. You might be thinking, ugh, that's a lot of extra work here, lady. It's just a little. Once you get used to it, it goes very quickly, and you start to get a sense for this. 6 times 2 is 12. Carry the 1, 4, 8, 92. That, oops. Okay. Probably some of you are saying, slow your roll, woman. You're not multiplying by 2 and 3. You're multiplying by 20 and 30. I know, right? What was I thinking? Let me try that again, because I'm not going to have any luck if I don't use the correct factors. Okay, let me try that one again. I'm going to put in a placeholder 0. 6 times 2 is still 12. Carry that 1. 4, 8, 920. Now that looks a little more reasonable, but it still seems a little low to me. I'm glad I'm trying out 46 times 30. 6 times 3 is 18. Carry the 1, 4, 8, 12, 13. 1,380. That definitely is much closer, and I don't think I could get any closer. So I can make 30 groups of 46 for 1,380 and subtract that from my original dividend. And that leaves me with 46. Well, hey, here's the good news. 46 times 1 is 46. I don't have to do any extra math there. And that leaves me, in this particular case, with a quotient of 31. And again, I can always multiply quotient times divisor to check my work, and I'll use a shortcut here. And look, 1,426, 1,426. I've proved that this math is going to work. Don't worry if this is tough in the beginning. This is one of those things that practice makes better, and better practice makes even better. So get practicing. Smell you later.